How's everybody doing today? Good. All right, well, just to recap the last game, obviously it was, a great win for our team. We made plays in the game when we needed to make plays, and that speaks a lot to the competitive character of the team, and I think we played really hard in the game, competed really hard in the game. Did not finish the game and did not always execute in the game like we would like. And these things are all obviously things that we need to work on to improve, which would help our consistency and performance. So, the question, really becomes for everyone is, do you want to take advantage of the opportunity that you created for yourself, or do you just want to go do what you got to do to win the next game? And if that's the case, then we're probably not going to improve a lot. We're not going to get better. We're not going to do the things we need to do to be able to take advantage of the opportunity. So it's really, kind of up to everybody. What do I need to do to get better? What can I do to help my teammates play better? What can I do to practice better so that some of the things that start showing up in the games, that show up in practice, are not the kind of things that you want to see because of the habits that you're creating in practice, whether it's not carrying out a fake as a quarterback, too many missed tackles on defense because we're not getting in the right position to tackle in practice, runners running plays exactly right, line blocking it plays exactly right. So all these things that we have an opportunity to improve on, that in your world all you care about is the result. In our world we care about what we got to do to get it fixed, how we can get better, and what we need to do that. So it's really not so much about who you're playing, it's about who you are and what you got to do to try to see if you can find out if we can take advantage of the opportunity that we have. So that's what we're looking forward to trying to do this week. Justin Fowler and T.J. Yeldon played really good, players of the game. Eddie Jackson, Nick Perry, D.J. Petway, specialists Landon Collins, Rashad Evans, Dylan Lee, and J.K. Scott. All did a good job for us this week. Injury update-wise, T.J. Yeldon, D. White, and Adam Griffin will probably be day-to-day here for a couple days. Just not that they have anything new. It's just that we're trying to evaluate and make sure that we can sort of, get these guys to where they're a little closer to 100%. But so that's going to be kind of a day-to-day deal. Homecoming is one of the great traditions that we have at the University of Alabama. We always look forward to a great atmosphere, in the stadium. A lot of people coming back to reconnect with a lot of great memories they have from when they were in school here and how they have contributed to the traditions that we have in so many ways, and it's always really exciting to be a part of all that. Western Carolina, I think, is a much improved team. They've won 7 games this year. They only won 2 games last year. They got a lot of players coming back. Do a nice job on offense. Got a nice little quarterback who's a really good athlete who, can make plays throwing and running. They're mostly a spread team. This is any team requires that your players respect the technical parts of what they have to do to be able to be successful in the game, and that's why we practice and that's why we prepare for the game. And we're certainly going to do that this week, playing this team who has really done a nice job all year long.
I've got 2 questions. The first, last week during your radio show, you mentioned this has been one of the more enjoyable teams that you've coached. Are there any examples that come to mind to kind of back that up, or what did you mean by that?
Well, basically what I mean by that is, as a head coach, when you have energy vampires on your team who never do what they're supposed to do, and they take all your energy as a coach, so you got 5 guys that take all your energy, you never get to enjoy the other 95 guys who do everything right. We just don't seem to have those guys on our team. And we seem to have a lot more guys that are, sort of like each other, buy in, try to help each other, want to do what's best for the team. Pretty selfless group of guys when it comes to everybody willing to be all in to do what they have to do to try to help the team. So that's always, more fun to deal with as a coach.
And secondly, and I know this is kind of off the wall, but during your last 2 home games, the music that's been played on third down, the team seems to really be feeding off of that, sometimes between commercial breaks or quarters. Does anyone in the program have any input on what's played in the stadium, or the players themselves?
That is off the wall. First of all, I can't answer the question because I know nothing about it. If it's helping us win, I'm all for it. I never really put that down in my notes that I thought that was a significant factor in how we played. But it very well may be, and it may be something, and we need to probably put it on the film so we can analyze that when we look at the plays that we run, and then we'll probably have a better idea whether it's how it's working.
Wonder what you've seen from our Darius Stewart over the last few weeks, and is he kind of the closest thing you have to being able to fill that Kenyon Drake role that you've been missing?
Well, our Darius Stewart is a fast, explosive guy who, got to play a little bit more in this game, and we've been trying to play him all year long. He is a guy, to me, that can make explosive plays, and hopefully the experience that he gets and that he is getting is going to help him sort of realize the importance of, paying attention to detail, doing the little things right that he needs to do so that he can have success as a player, because he certainly can be a guy that could make plays for us and be a great complement to some of the other players that we have who are making plays for us.
Yep, Coach. I have 2 special team questions. First, I didn't see in warm-ups or special teams Alti Tenpenny. Can you update us on his status?
He was late for the meeting, and I just told him to pick his stuff up and would talk to him later. So the guy was late for the meeting. Not important enough for him to be at the meeting, not important enough for me to dress him for the game. So.
Thank you. And the other, with Adam on the day-to-day situation, like you said, would J.K. be the next place kicker, and would you take a look at him in this game if the situation arose? Well,
we certainly have a lot of confidence that J.K. can, kick off and kick long field goals, and, we may look at some other guys that we have in the program to see if they're a little more consistent on short field goals, but that's something that we'll probably evaluate through the week this week.
Nick Perry is a senior who's been around a lot, had a big game this week with a bunch of tackles, interception. What's he meant so far this season in that secondary?
Well, Nick has really, improved. I think what's improved with Nick the most is his confidence. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now, and I think that's benefiting his performance. He's got a lot of experience around here. He's a very bright guy. He's a very smart guy, and his improvement has certainly helped dramatically in how we've been able to improve some in the secondary. And he's done a really nice job for us and did a good job in this last game.
Coach, you talked about the big drive last week with Blake taking off a couple times and making some plays. What's that like for you as a coach, though, to see him when he takes off and you're like, well, I know he's got to pick up the first. I'm just curious, what's your reaction to when he's trying to make those plays?
Well, we know that, Blake's style of athleticism and his position at quarterback is something that can be, a benefit to us. And we want him to use good judgment, when he makes those decisions. And, I think so far this year he has used really good judgment, when things break down. But at the same time, we also want him to make sure he goes through his progression. There was a time in the game where he got sacked that they didn't even cover the back. They were in man-to-man coverage. They busted on the back. Well, he was thinking about scrambling and getting out of there. If it had completed the progression, he'd have thrown the ball to the check down, and the guy probably would have run for a touchdown. So we want him to do that, and he has 99% of the time has always had great judgment in when to do it and when not to do it, when the play's breaking down, when the protection's breaking down, when he has nowhere to go with the ball. And, you know, he's pretty elusive. He's got great quickness. He's very athletic. So I don't have any thoughts at all, no different than when the ball's in the air and somebody's going to catch it. You know, you're sitting there hoping the guy makes a first down. You're hoping the guy catches the ball. You're hoping the guy catches and runs with it so we can make a conversion. So not really any different reaction from my standpoint, other than, you know, I want what everybody else wants is let's get a first down, keep the ball, and see if we can score.
Just wanted to know how Tyron Jones was progressing at running back, and could he see an expanding role going forward with some guys banged up?
Tyron's doing fine. You know, he played a few plays in the game, and he's a very instinctive, you know, runner, and certainly, you know, we need for somebody to be able to, you know, help us at running back because of some of the injuries that we have, and provide some added depth for us, and hopefully guys that can fulfill some roles, you know, for us down the road here. So there's some opportunity, and so far Tyron has done a good job of improving and taking advantage of that.
We've talked a little bit about how J.K. Scott's, you know, his performance this season, but how impressive and how important has his consistency been? You know, I think he's only had 1 or 2 bad punts this season.
Well, you know, the guy's done a phenomenal job, especially, you know, thinking that he's just a freshman. And you worry about guys like that being able to stay focused on what they need to do to be consistent, which he has done a really, really good job of. And he has flipped the field position for us a bunch this year. I think it was really big, you know, in this game. I do think that we need to continue to work on the coverage, because when he punts the ball a long ways, we have had a few, you know, 2 in the last 2 games where they've made 10, 12-yard returns on us because, you know, we got to do a better job of covering because it is more challenging when you have those kind of punts. But I can't complain at all about the outstanding job he's done in changing field position for us.
Coach, how do you balance getting the work necessary in this week in practice to win Saturday while maybe healing some guys but getting the work in for the rest of the year too, if you know what I'm asking?
Well, you know, I don't think we really can look at the, you know, I think the most important thing to do at this time of year is everybody stay focused on what they got to do. You know, focus is like momentum. All right, when you lose the momentum in the game, it's really hard to get back. All right, so if you don't stay focused on what you need to do to get better, it's not about the other team, it's about what we need to do as a team. So, you know, that's what I was trying to, you know, sort of allude to earlier, in that, you know, us staying focused on what we need to do to improve and get better and take advantage of the opportunity that we have, rather than just looking at, well, what do we have to do to win this game? I mean, there's a huge difference in that. Huge difference in that. So if I said, what do we have to do to win this game, I might think, well, I don't got to practice too hard this week. You know, the guy's not quite as big as what I'm used to have to play against or whatever. So are you going to get better that way or not? All right, but taking advantage of the opportunity that you have is much bigger than that. You know, I need to play better. I need to improve. I need to help my teammates play better. You know, we didn't execute these plays properly. We need to start getting this right. We got to do a better job, whether it's covering, blocking, carrying out fakes, catching balls, whatever it is. I mean, so the major thing for me is stay focused on what you need to do to improve. All right, so you take advantage of the opportunity, and that's for every player. So if we took the approach that, okay, we want to get healed up, all right, we'd have half the guys saying, oh, I think I get out this week because I got a bad hip. All right, and, you know, my shoulder hurts from when I got hurt when I was playing. You know, I got a separated shoulder, so maybe I ought to take a back seat out there as a coach. I mean, try to get healed up for the game. How are we going to get better? How are we going to get better?
That's all we got.
All right. Thanks.